It's not easy to describe a woman like Geraldine Schottenstein Hoffman.
I would describe my mother as a very caring person.
Geraldine is the quintessential matriarch.
She's very, very wise. She has her points she makes, and I like her honesty.
My mother has always taught us to be part of a community and how important it is to help others.
She taught us how to give back.
My mother-in-law is a woman with a tremendous heart.
She's very giving, and she's one heck of a nice person.
Philanthropy is often learned from one generation to the next. This is what Geraldine Schottenstein Hoffman was taught from a very young age, to give back. As a young child growing up in New Orleans, Louisiana, Geraldine watched her parents, Eva and Joseph Hurwitz, work hard to make their Jewish community a better place. She came to Columbus in 1953 as a young bride with her husband, Jerome Schottenstein, never forgetting what her parents taught her, that it was an honor to make the world a better place. This lesson she soon passed down to Jay, Anne, Susie, and Lori.
My mother came from a home where my grandparents were all born in Europe. They came to this country and they've worked very hard and they built fine lives.
I think for my mother, growing up in a small town and also living majority of her life in Columbus, Ohio, where years ago it was a pretty small Jewish community, it was very important to be part of everything, especially Jewish.
She holds on to what she believes in the Jewish community. And I think that that's something that she gives back. And I think that the family is very important. You know, it's an important time of life for her to know that they give back to her now.
In my home where I was raised, it was always open. It was always open for the various organizations, whether it be Yeshiva University or Torah Academy. It was always emphasized in my parents' home the importance of a good Jewish education.
She wanted her children to live Jewish lives, to be able to raise their children Jewish, and it was important for her to be part of this community so she could show us and lead us by example.
The one thing that really rang in our household that today we all do is the Friday night dinners. The Friday night dinners, no matter how big our family grew, for the longest time, they were always at my mom's house.
She's the one that made that family be a strong family in that house and be a strong Jewish family in that house. Her brisket has a big influence on me. I heard about her brisket so much.
Speaking of cooking, my mother did pass down some good recipes.
The feeling that was around that table, whether they were laughing or telling what was going on or screaming at one another or whatever happens at a family dinner, they were there and they were together. And that was something that Geraldine initiated and perpetuated, and I think she is to be greatly applauded for that.
I think, you know, it's how you're raised in your life. And when you see what your parents do, and then when you get married, and then you have a husband that's also interested in the community you lived in, Jerome, and also Marty, who's so active in the community, and you pick up on all these things and you're able to do it.
Well, you have to understand that she comes from a family of giving. So she has inherited what she does from her family. And she does this because she loves to do it. And she says you can't give unless you enjoy giving.
She stood side by side with Jerome as his business and their family continued to flourish. But community was always a top priority for Geraldine. Her home was open to whatever organization needed her, and she always enjoyed seeing people benefiting from her philanthropy.
I think Geraldine Schottenstein Hoffman and the Schottenstein family are such an integral part of this community. They're the thread that brings many of us together, and because of their emotional, their physical, and their spiritual investment into the city of Columbus, they feel they have to give back to the city, invest in this community, because they're so much a part of it. And when you're part of something, you want to see it successful. And that's what they want to see. They want to see a successful community. And because of their philanthropy, this city, this community is far better off as a result.
How many people do you know in the world that stop everything they're doing to get a life-saving drug for a sick, ailing patient? that go visit orphans in their new school to make sure that they have properly adjusted, that ensure that children with special needs have the proper Jewish education. Geraldine is a very special, loving lady.
Her family is known locally, nationally, and internationally for their philanthropy to causes far and wide. And Geraldine and Jerome raised their kids to do the same.
She's a person who cares deeply about other people, and she is a very strong Jewish role model as a woman, as a person, and she believes in the justice of helping others.
She still motivates us. She still is the benchmark of how we respond to community needs. You know, we watch her, we see her engaged, we see her involved, we see her supportive, and she motivates us. She puts into perspective what's truly important by her actions, not just by her words.
I think what makes it so special, there's a saying in Hebrew, matan beseter, which means you give unknowingly. And she's very unique in that sense that she really enjoys it. She enjoys giving without being recognized. And it's a very unique trait that not very many people have, but she definitely is one of them. And I'm very proud of her for that.
Geraldine has always seen the world as her community, and through her involvement with such organizations as Yeshiva University, the Arthur G. James Cancer Center, Columbus Torah Academy, the Ohio State University, Children of Chernobyl, area synagogues, and so many more, she's been able to make a difference. She has a great love for the state of Israel, and her philanthropy extends worldwide. But her gifts are often made quietly to benefit others and not for recognition. For Geraldine and her family, the Columbus Jewish Foundation is one way they can make sure the institutions they love will continue to benefit.
The Foundation's sole mission is to perpetuate the values and the morals that we as Jews feel are important. And I think this is an important honoring for Geraldine, because I think she represents a permanent strength, l'dor v'dor, passing our important moral values down from generation to generation, which I think is why this foundation honoring is so appropriate for her, because she really embodies all of those ideals.
This honor is so important to her because it's right here in her own community. And the Columbus Jewish Foundation is the base of the Jewish giving here in Columbus. She's always been a part of it and wants to motivate other people to give.
The purpose of the Columbus Jewish Foundation is to build the endowment for the future. And that's why I think my mother's active in here, is because she's looking for the future and to make it better.
It is something that will prolong her visions and make sure that her visions will be intact and have a future.
She feels, and this something that she passed down to us, is that you remember where you came from and what you received, and if you have the advantages to give back, that's an obligation you have. And I think that she also feels that way. She remembers this is where she raised her family, and she has an obligation to also give back.
Well, they've had good people running it, and they had the backing behind them. And I just hope that with the younger generation, they will realize how important it is to continue this, because it's going to be up to them.
For Geraldine Schottenstein Hoffman, her legacy is continuing not only with her children, but her grandchildren, and she's been privileged to be able to see it.
She hopes that things that she will instill in her children will pass on from generation to generation.
I just think it's inbred. That's what she was taught. And she's passing it on to her kids and to her grandkids.
The philanthropy that began generations ago in New Orleans is alive and thriving today in Columbus, Ohio, thanks to people like Geraldine Schottenstein Hoffman. Her family and friends hope that her good work will continue for many years to come.
Jerry, congratulations. This is the 50th anniversary of the Jewish Foundation, and it's very appropriate that you are the honoree in this evening. Mazel tov and all the best.
My wish for Geraldine is that she enjoys life, that she enjoys every moment, that she enjoys her family, that she enjoys Marty, that she enjoys watching her grandchildren grow up, and that they follow in her footsteps.
I wish my mother happiness and less stress.
I just wish my mother great health and let her live a long and healthy life and continue to do all the great things that she's done for so many years, and just enjoy herself and be able to enjoy her family and all her friends.
I wish my mother a long and happy life, that she should continue to do great things.
I wish her the best of health and happiness, and we're so proud of her, and that she should just enjoy every minute.
I wish her a lot of blessings, that she continues on to do whatever she's been doing in her endeavors, and that her life goes, smoothly, not too many bumps on the road.
That she and Marty continue to have nachas and continue to be proud of their children and grandchildren.
I hope that she has good health. I can make her have a good life, and she can make me have a long life and a healthy life. And she has nursed me through many shortcomings, and we're both still standing.
I wish that Geraldine fully comprehends what she's done for so many in this community. I want her to know it. I want her to know when she goes to bed at night how she's benefited thousands of people because of her generosity. I want her to know that our city and our community is better off because of Geraldine. Thank you, Geraldine.